Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the national anthem and the playing of the Upper St. Clair High School alma mater.
Welcome and good evening, everyone. It is an honor to stand before you to celebrate Upper St. Clair's class of 2025. Throughout the past few weeks, I'm sure that all of us have been reminiscing on the moments, both big and small, that led us here today, our graduation. These moments will be remembered by future generations, whether in our yearbooks or at the very least on the USC Schools Instagram. I may be slightly biased, but I truly believe that our senior class has achieved remarkable accomplishments this year that deserve recognition. Let's take a moment to highlight the amazing achievements of the 347 students in the class of 2025. Starting with athletics, we had 18 teams make it to playoffs this year. The football, girls lacrosse, and boys swim teams were section champs. The girls flag football team earned a WIPIAL championship, and we had WIPIAL champions in track and swimming. Both the girls and boys basketball teams brought home WIPIAL titles, a feat they previously achieved together in 1996, with the girls advancing to the state finals. In the arts, Mary Poppins sold out every show before opening night. Several seniors performed with the PMEA Western Region Band and Orchestra. The band represented USCHS on a national level, and Upper St. Clair was honored as the best community for music education. And in the activities, our esports team won the state title. Our student council was recognized as a 2025 National Council of Excellence. 3 of our robotics team qualified for states, with 1 advancing to worlds where they were internationally recognized. And FBLA had 35 state qualifiers, with 5 advancing to nationals, and 1 of our seniors winning the state championship. The speech and debate class of 2025 won all 4 years of high school and had 4 individual state champions this past year. Also, for the first time since 2019, we brought back Youthon, raising an incredible $38,467.42 for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. With that being said, we can't forget the reason for these successes. Whether it was our teachers believing in us, our coaches pushing us to become the best versions of ourselves, our administrators working to create an environment where we could thrive, our families always being there with dedicated support, and of course, all of us being there for each other every step of the way. For that, we thank you. While these achievements show how dedicated and hardworking our class is, they represent something deeper. They remind us of the power of showing up for one another. As we move forward, whether to college, careers, or whatever challenges life throws our way, I hope we remember this: be present. Show up for the people you care about. Support your friends, your family, your community. Even the smallest gesture of your time, your encouragement, your presence can make a world of a difference in someone's life. Congratulations, class of 2025. I can't wait to see the amazing things we'll continue to accomplish. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd now like to introduce my friend and fellow president, Ryan LaRocco.
"7 minutes. That is the time it takes to get from my house to the high school, give or take a few minutes. It's a drive I've done probably close to 10,000 times. It's about equivalent to a Take It Easy by the Eagles and The Spins by Mac Miller. Or if I hit all the green lights, I can listen to just one Piano Man. It has been the same routes, the same turns, the same stop signs and lights, the same traffic where people slow down to see if the police are parked at the mini-mart on 19. Whether the drive was 7 minutes or 17, we each found our route through the moments that defined our high school experience. It was the drive when I came here for my sister's commencement, when graduation to me felt like so far in the future, and I was impatiently squirming in this stadium, waiting for Dr. Whoever to finally say, "I now present the class of 2017, so I could go home and eat a graduation cake. It was the route we took since middle school for the football games in Panther Stadium on Friday night when our friends or older siblings were playing or cheering, and was still the same drive many of you took to cheer the team on in the student section during one of our best seasons ever. It was the route we all took when coming to Community Day as kids to catch candy from the cars in the parade, and the route many of us took in May where we set up booths and ran in the 5K. It was the drive I took with my older sister to see the high school's production of Evita. And it was the drive I took with my little cousins to see Mary Poppins. It was the same drive, but louder, when our parents picked us up from homecoming in Sadie's our freshman year, asking our favorite part of the dance. And it was the same drive, but much, much quieter, when they drove us to school every morning sophomore year, impatiently waiting to get through the long line of cars. It was the first place many of us drove after getting our license junior year. It was the place where we pulled into our spots at 7:59 and rushed into the school holding the door for each other. Today, we drove that same route again, but this time it felt different. It was the final drive we traveled up Panther Pass to 1825 McLaughlin Run Road as Panthers. This last 7-minute ride, some of us have dreaded and some of us have been waiting for since we entered school here. Most of us, though, are somewhere in the middle. Grateful for the time we have had together as we venture on our last side quests around Pantherland, but ready to plug in a new destination in our GPS as we start our next adventure. But I do not want our final drive here to be looked upon with sadness. Mr. Rogers put it perfectly. Often when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. When we drove here, we weren't looking in the rear view, hoping to experience what is behind us. We looked forward, through the windshield, ready to arrive at our destination, our graduation. You probably thought about the journey that took you from that 5-year-old getting on the bus for the first time to the person that sits here today in your graduation regalia. And when we got out of that car and closed that door, we looked at the place where we learned, where we laughed, where we built community and became better versions of ourselves. So as you pull out of your parking spot today to head home from the high school for the last time, I want you to look forward to your next destination and know this place and these people will always be just a 7-minute drive away, give or take a few hours. Whenever you need. Thank you. I am now pleased to welcome our school board president, Dr. Danielle Wetzel.
This is fascinating to give a speech with an umbrella. Well, good evening, class of 2025. Parents, grandparents, friends, township commissioners, district administration, faculty and staff, esteemed guests. I have written an amazing speech, but it is raining. And I think it would be more important that we focus on hearing from our graduates and seeing our students graduate tonight. You can read my speech, please do. There's a story about my grandmother coming out later. I hope you can read it. And now I want to introduce Kriti Gupta. Kriti, do you want this?
I'm okay, thank you. Good evening, Upper St. Clair friends, family, staff, students, and most of all, class of 2025. It is an honor and a true dream come true to be a student speaker at this year's commencement. During our freshman year at Upper St. Clair High School, we were all assigned the novel To Kill a Mockingbird. Half of us read it, and well, half of us didn't. For those of you who may not remember or just use SparkNotes, Harper Lee writes within the novel, "Real courage is when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyways and see it through no matter what." Being licked, while it may sound questionable, it's the pressure to earn straight A's while juggling clubs, sports, jobs, and somehow also sleeping. It's fighting self-doubt, social pressure, burnout, and every invisible weight we carried while showing up day after day. But courage, as Lee says, is beginning anyways.
And we did. Throughout our lives, we've been handed the definition of success. Be the perfect high school student, go to the top university in the country, and get the best paying job. Society hands us this pamphlet, asking us to follow it line by line, just like a script. But what happens when your dream doesn't fit that script? What happens if the path that you want to take is not what others expect? Looking out into the class of 2025, I know that every one of us here has a unique dream. While walking around this field on decision day, I noticed that everyone wanted to pursue something different. I saw over 50 different college t-shirts with students declaring creative and passionate studies, and I knew the class of 2025 had their dream future in mind. Whether it's shining on stage, in the field, on the courts, or working through challenges alongside providing community support, our dreams are catalysts towards hope, creativity, and most of all, self-fulfillment. Of course, our dreams may not guarantee us this ideal perspective of success, but it does something better. They inspire, they create, and they change the world around us. Dreams don't come with guarantees. Most of the time, dreams are terrifying. However, dreams are what challenge success, and real courage, our courage, is choosing to follow those dreams anyways. And we certainly didn't do it alone. The teachers and faculty and staff of the Upper St. Clair School District didn't just prepare us for tests and homework assignments. They took society's pamphlet, ripped it up into shreds, gave us the tools, and most of all, the freedom to figure out who we are and what we wanted to become. Whether it was a specific teacher who reassured you countless times that you were good enough to take on the challenges of his or her course, or the countless staff who supported us through various events, such as Spirit Weeks, community service events, and even championships, this school gave us more of an education. It gave us a foundation to grow. When I was finalizing my speech for today, many of you asked why I chose Atticus Finch as the focus. After all, if you read the novel, you know he loses his trial. The odds weren't in his favor at all, so why highlight him? Because that's exactly the point. Atticus represents that real courage isn't about guaranteed success. It's about standing firm in your beliefs, even when you know the outcome might not be in your favor. This quote reminds us that with a strong foundation, success isn't always about the result. It's about what you learn along the way. Failure, setbacks, disappointments, they don't define you. You define your own success. And even if the ending isn't what you imagined, those moments shape who you become. Chasing your dreams will look different for everyone, but what's the common thread? Real courage is taking the risk anyway. As we step into the next chapter of our lives, remember this: the world doesn't need more people following the same path. It needs people brave enough to create their own. The class of 2025 isn't just ready for the future, we're ready to shape it. No matter how much you have achieved in high school, you will achieve even more later on in life. Just as Atticus Finch stood tall in the face of the impossible, so can you. So go forward, class of 2025. Stand tall and begin anyways. Thank you. I would now like to introduce representing the valedictorians of this class, Ishan Sharma.
As I look back at everything we've been through, I keep coming back to a story that stayed with me since the moment I first read it. A story by Brandon Sanderson, which I've reimagined to tell to all of you today. Our story begins with a man named Fleet, the fastest man to ever live. You know, the kind of person your parents tell you bedtime stories about when you're little. Now, one day, Fleet made a promise, a wild, impossible promise. "I'm going to race the wind," he said. "I'm going to outrun the storm." As you might expect, people laughed and called him crazy. But Fleet just didn't care. He ran east to meet the storm at the shore, which was his starting line. Now the sky darkened, the clouds boiled, and the wind roared to life, not unlike what we all just experienced a month ago, and I guess also today. Now, regardless, who was this man daring to challenge the storm itself? No one had ever tried something so foolish. No one had ever been so brave. And then he ran. And in our own way, so did we. As Panthers, we've pulled each other through more than a few challenges together. Whether it was cramming with your friends during ART for that test you forgot about, or getting home from practice late and realizing you have a calc assignment due the next day. And of course, when we absolutely dogged on Peters and Lebo at our last 2 homecoming games. Although I'm not sure that really counts as a challenge, if we're being honest. Regardless, in our 4 years of high school, we were constantly pushed to do more. Like Fleet, we have always sought out hardships, academic, extracurricular, or otherwise. Now, as he ran, Fleet tore across grass and stone, dodging trees and leaping boulders like they just weren't there. Now, behind him, the storm howled relentlessly, but Fleet was faster. He charged toward the mountains, the real test. Step by step, he climbed, the cold biting, the wind chasing, but he didn't stop. Now at the peak, sunlight, and as Fleet ran down the side of the mountain, he found his speed again, sprinting across the plains with all that he had left. I've been told before that stories don't have morals. Instead, you and I, as listeners, have intentions. While I'm sure every single one of you out there tonight has something different running through your mind, there is one common vein that unites all of us. We, the class of 2025, are the ones that never stop. We are the ones that ask the questions nobody else even dreams about. We keep on running. No matter how many times we fall in our personal challenges, we get back up. And as we take the next step in our journey tonight, we meet each obstacle with more grit than anyone else can even dream of. However, the race was wearing Fleet down. He couldn't avoid it forever. His breath grew shallow, his legs grew heavy, and then came one final mountain. He climbed, slower this time, as the storm gained ground. He reached the top, however, his lead was gone. But the sea was just ahead, the end was in sight. He pushed forward, step after step after step. And then it happened. He fell. Every single person here has done something stupid. We have all had our falls, and sometimes it can feel impossible to get back up and keep going. But our time at USC has already given us a template, one built from late nights, tough lessons, and even better memories with our friends. We've learned that when we fall, we will rise each time better and stronger. We are all right now running our own races, and I cannot wait to see where they take every single one of us 5, 10, or 20 years from now. And for the conclusion to our story, the storm caught up to Fleet and stopped. The storm stopped right where Fleet had fallen. It couldn't go any further because Fleet hadn't lost his race. Not really. The storm saw it, his grit, his fire, this dream. Fleet's body had stopped, sure, but his spirit didn't. It rose and it soared, still free, forever racing the wind. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our final student speaker, my friend Ben Seawald, representing the student body.
Thank you, Ishan. Someone once told me it's always best to start a speech with a question. So here goes. How do you eat an elephant? It's a strange question to ask at a graduation or pretty much anywhere, but hear me out and I will try my best to answer it. As we stand here today on the brink of a new chapter, I can't help but think about what it means to be independent. Whether we'll be as close to home as a short car ride or as far as a long plane ride, the truth is independence is one of the greatest challenges we will face. Independence pushes us to figure out who we are and what we're capable of. It teaches us to problem solve, to make decisions, and to take responsibility for both our successes and our failures. When I started my college admissions process, I was determined to handle it all on my own, because that's what I thought independence meant, taking complete control and doing everything ourselves. But it quickly became overwhelming. Applications, resumes, essays, recommendations, deadlines, and on top of all that, keeping up with school and activities, it seemed everyone else could do it. So why was I struggling so much? I didn't want help. I wanted it to be my journey. But eventually, my dad sat me down and asked me the same question I asked all of you. How do you eat an elephant? The answer? One bite at a time. Weird. But as we talked, I realized he was teaching me that tackling everything all at once by yourself isn't independence. It's about not letting the big picture paralyze us, to break your goal into smaller steps, take things day by day. We should approach each part of the process with focus and determination. And even if our friends or parents help us along the way, the journey itself is still ours. Independence isn't about rejecting help. It's about learning how to use it wisely to forge our own paths, one bite at a time. Attending high school with you all these past 4 years made me realize something else. We aren't stuck eating the elephant alone. There are always others who are hungry to help. We have parents, coaches, teachers, and of course, we have each other. We will all face our own elephants as we go out into the world. We will want to achieve accomplishments that are seemingly way too large, and sometimes the outlook may, like an elephant, look a little gray. But know that if it feels hard to do, it just means the first step isn't small enough. When we take one small bite at a time, we can do anything. Every late night cram session, every challenge, and every victory we've experienced at Upper St. Clair, whether that be on the athletic fields, in the classroom, or on the stage, has given us the tools we need to thrive. Now it's up to us to use them, to make and learn from our mistakes, to celebrate our successes, and to create lives that reflect the best of what we've been taught. Mark Twain once said, "When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was amazed at just how much he had learned in those 7 years." As most of us are around 18, we are still in that middle ground. While hard to admit, we are starting to realize that those around us may know a bit more than we give them credit for. And, just like Twain suggests, we might still resist advice, but we're beginning to see just how much the people around us have taught us. And that's what independence is about. It's about recognizing the value of lessons learned from the people around us and building on them as we move forward. We are prepared for this moment. So let's address the elephant in the room, our journey to independence. Let's continue to grow, thrive, and create extraordinary things that improve our communities and the world. And always remember, eat that elephant one bite at a time. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025. Now please join me in welcoming our principal, Dr. Timothy Wagner.
Good evening. Dr. Razzo, Dr. Wetzel, Board of School Directors, administrators, parents, teachers, friends, and members of the class of 2025. Welcome to the 65th Annual Upper St. Clair High School Commencement Exercises. Given the weather, I too will truncate my speech a bit, and it will be available later as well. My role this evening and my duty and honor is to present the class of 2025 to all of you. In addition, I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of the high school faculty, staff, and facilities teams who each contributed in significant ways to this evening's events. Similarly, the role of a student's first teachers, family members, and caregivers at home cannot be overstated. Thank you, parents, for the important role you've played in nurturing wonderful children, each of whom has brought joy to our lives at school over the past 4 years. Seniors, this is an opportunity to join me in thanking your teachers, parents, family, and friends for their support and unconditional commitment to all of you. The Upper St. Clair School District began bestowing diplomas to seniors in 1960 when 100 students were graduated. Today, we celebrate the accomplishments of 347 students. Class of 2025, you have demonstrated remarkable feats of aptitude in many areas, and community building and care have characterized your class. You're a group of students who has demonstrated exceptional academic, athletic, and artistic achievements. Next year, our students will be traveling to all corners of the world to pursue their education in places such as California, Virginia, New York, Michigan, Canada, as far away as France, and right here at home in Pittsburgh. Some members of the class will enlist in our country's armed services, while others will contribute their gifts as members of the workforce. Students, as you navigate the adventure of life, remember that your alma mater, Upper St. Clair High School, and all those who live and work here will always welcome you home. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John Razzo.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. Good evening. Class of 2025, it is an honor and privilege to stand before you tonight, even in the rain. This ceremony marks more than a conclusion of your K-12 education. It is a celebration of over a decade of learning, growth, perseverance, and achievement. Too often we find ourselves fixated on the future, rarely pausing to fully appreciate the present. But tonight, I encourage you to do just that. This may very well be the final time you are addressed as a full class. Think about that. Look around, reflect on the journey, on the friendships, challenges, and triumphs that brought you here. The future will be waiting, but for the next couple minutes, there are ones to savor, because one day you will long to return to them. Before I turn my full attention to this extraordinary class, it is important to recognize the many individuals who helped bring us to this evening. To the parents, guardians, and families, thank you for your unwavering support, your trust, and your partnership. You chose Upper St. Clair and entrusted us with your most precious gift, your children. On behalf of the school board, faculty, and staff, it has been an honor to be part of their lives, many since the first day of kindergarten. To the members of our school board seated behind me, your vision and leadership support the growth of over 4,000 students and 500 staff members. Your commitment to excellence ensures that every child receives a world-class education. To our faculty and staff, thank you for your dedication, Your guidance has shaped the lives of these graduates in lasting ways. You've taught far more than academics. You've modeled integrity, compassion, and resilience. To our high school leadership team, Dr. Wagner, Dr. Beck, and Dr. Singer, thank you for your student-centered leadership. Through steady guidance, thoughtful decisions, and sincere care, you created a culture where students can flourish. To Mr. Nick Deutsch and the high school band, thank you for your musical talents that helped elevate tonight's celebration. To our elected and public officials, thank you for your advocacy and support for our students. I want to especially thank those present this evening: District Judge Ron Arnone, Commissioner Dante Plutko, Commissioner Todd Burlingame, Commissioner Dick Thomas, and Lieutenant Michael Lindensfelser. Your presence speaks volumes about your commitment to our schools and our community. To our activities office, Mrs. Brooke Tarkson, Dr. Stephen Turquato, your efforts have made this senior year unforgettable. From capstones to commencements, you've crafted moments that will last a lifetime. To our custodians, maintenance teams, technology staff, and school police, thank you for the care, safety, and support you bring every day. It's the behind-the-scenes work that brings us to events like tonight. And lastly, to the entire Upper St. Clair community, thank you for your constant support. Around here, we say great schools make great communities, and great communities make great schools. That truth is alive and well in Upper St. Clair because of you. Each August, as we prepare for a new school year, our entire staff gathers in the high school theater to reset and refocus. This past year, I spoke about a theme that feels especially relevant tonight: legacy. Legacy isn't just a plaque on the wall. It's something living, created, and passed on through everyday actions. It's shaped by the values we hold, the choices we make, and the impact we leave behind. Here in Upper St. Clair, legacy matters. It's our shared responsibility not just to preserve it, but to build on it. Class of 2025, your story is now a vital part of that legacy. Each of you has walked a unique path, but together you've created something truly remarkable. After nearly 25 years in this district, I can say with confidence, this class is special. You've shown what it means to lead with purpose, care for others, and to lift one another up. You stood by a classmate battling a serious illness. You formed one of the largest, loudest, and most spirited student sections in the region. You revived Youthon, raising over $38,000 for Children's Hospital. You demonstrated that unity is more than standing together. It's showing up, stepping up, and making those around you better. Your record of achievement speaks for itself. 61% of you are members of National Honor Society, the highest percentage in district history. You sold out every performance for 2 consecutive spring musicals with Newsies and Mary Poppins. You earned top honors in music, as well as unprecedented recognition in robotics, speech and debate, future business leaders of America, and esports. And as athletes, you rank among some of the finest to ever wear the USC uniform. But true success is not measured just by accolades, it's measured by the standard you set for others to follow. And that may very well be your greatest contribution. What distinguishes you most is your character. Your compassion, your service, your leadership rooted in empathy and action. Through your MYP projects, service clubs, junior mentors, natural helpers, and countless initiatives, you've made a difference. And more importantly, you've inspired others to do the same. That mantra that we embrace throughout our district, unity, success, and character, you didn't just hear it, you lived it. The Upper St. Clair legacy extends far beyond this campus. Our alumni are leaders in the fields of medicine, education, business, finance, the arts, technology, and much more, making an impact across the country and around the world. That legacy is now yours to uphold and to evolve. It's your turn to build on it, to continue showing the world what it means to be an Upper St. Clair Panther. We will miss your energy in our classrooms, your voices and talents on our stages, your spirit on the fields, courts, and athletic venues, and your leadership throughout our schools. You are among the most accomplished, compassionate, impressive students to ever walk the halls of dear old Upper St. Clair. I have no doubt in the years ahead, many of your names will grace our halls of fame, not just for what you've achieved, but for what you are destined to do. You've set a high bar and left big shoes to fill, and now it's time to take the next step. Though your time as students ends tonight, your connection to this district lasts forever. You've made Upper St. Clair better. Take that mindset with you. Leave every place, every task, every person better than you found them, because that's exactly what you've done for the past 13 years here. As I close, I return to where I began tonight. This may be the last time you sit together as one class, surrounded by the people, the memories, and the experiences that shaped your time in USC. This chapter is ending, and yes, it brings gratitude, excitement, and perhaps even a little uncertainty. But above all, it brings hope, because now it's your time. Take all that you've learned, all that you believe, all that you are, and show the world what the class of 2025 has shown us all along. In closing, I offer one simple but meaningful piece of advice. Stay connected. Stay connected to one another, to the friends sitting beside you tonight, to the people who know your story and believe in your future. These connections will guide you, ground you, and remind you, no matter where life takes you, you will always be part of this class, and you will always be part of Upper St. Clair. Congratulations, class of 2025. We are immensely proud of you. At this time, I ask Dr. Wagner to present the Upper St. Clair class of 2025.
Students, indeed, we are so proud of each and every one of you. Dr. Razzo, as the principal of Upper St. Clair High School, I do hereby certify that the students gathered before us have met the requirements for graduation as mandated by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Upper St. Clair Board of School Directors. Dr. Razzo, I present to you the Upper St. Clair High School class of 2025.
Class of 2025, by the authority vested in me as superintendent, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the administration, and the faculty of the Upper St. Clair School District, I proudly confer upon you the degree recommended by your principal, Dr. Wagner. On behalf of the Upper St. Clair community, I offer you good fortune, good health, and the best wishes of your alma mater, now and forever. Congratulations.
Anything else? Do whatever you gotta do. Oh, you're totally fine.
Ryan Lewis LaRocco, Student Council President, Valedictorian.
Benjamin Andrew Seawald, Student Council Vice President, Student Speaker.
Emma Miriam Lewis. Emma Miriam Tusi, Senior Class President.
Anderson James Ploger, Senior Class Vice President.
Jack Timothy Yurstich, Senior Class Treasurer.
Brady Satina Bernard, Student Council Secretary.
Carly Mary Shantz, Student Council Executive.
Ava Rose Casper, Student Council Executive.
Nathaniel Gordon Stoll, Student Council Executive.
John Owen Bell, Valedictorian.
John Nicholas Tripodis, Student Council Executive.
Samuel James Berger, Valedictorian.
Kasiji Mathan Chandran, Valedictorian.
Ryan Oliver Bonomo, Valedictorian.
Benjamin Thomas Murto, Valedictorian.
Hannah Sophie Dell, Valedictorian.
Grace Marie Myers, Valedictorian, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Ian Abraham Devoren, Valedictorian.
Shreya Vandana Narasimhan, Valedictorian.
Anna Rose Engelman, Valedictorian, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Elise Olivia Parrish, Valedictorian.
Caleb William Guarino, Valedictorian.
Eli Gabriel Rankin, Valedictorian.
Meredith Reese Hujak, Valedictorian.
Meredith Ann Rhodes, Valedictorian.
Yelena Noble, Valedictorian.
Anushka Sharma, Valedictorian.
Frankie Solène Dubray, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Ishan Sharma, Valedictorian, Student Speaker.
Margot Gandon, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Thomas Walter Slowey, Valedictorian.
Maya Guisi, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Valentina Sabarzo Hernandez, Valedictorian.
Sydney Alexis Montgomery, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Sophia Grace Whitman, Valedictorian.
Manav Manesh Patel, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Kriti Bala Gupta, Student Speaker.
Erin Irene Shihab, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Ella Marie Makovich.
Shreya Shriram, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Ari Alfred Medeiros.
Sydney Rose Waldron, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate.
Healy Parag Makadia.
George Abdel Masia.
Harsh Molly.
Michael Charles Albert.
Mia Angelina Manalo.
Kristen Michelle Albertini.
Juana Haley Basco Manansala.
Abdullah Al-Dasari.
Eli Matthew Mandler.
Edith Alice Olford.
Nicholas Thomas Marchando.
Hassan Alhaj Hussein.
Mia Sonia Marino.
Cassandra May Allen.
Elizabeth Mary Marsh.
Amir Hussam Al-Salani.
Alyssa Mary Massimino.
Juliana Amorosa.
Dylan Lane McCarthy.
Josh Stephen Onen.
Tyler Adams McClintock Como.
Marcus Thomas Andrews.
Adam Thomas McFeely.
Aaliyah Noel Angelisi.
Peyton Elizabeth McGregor.
Theodore McCann Amer.
Peyton John McIntyre.
Siamak Bakshi.
Connor Regis McKenzie.
James Thomas Barker.
Mazel Elizabeth McTeer.
Jamie Marie Barrett.
Rohan Mehta.
Michael Arthur Berry.
Andrew Jacob Michalewski.
Emma Louise Behanna.
Austin Ryan Middleton.
Jack Paul Belak.
Haley Jean Miller.
Cheyenne Alyssa Belli.
Opal Caroline Miller.
Hannah Corey Jane Bem.
Roshan Mishra.
Ivana Montserrat Benitez.
Drake Mitchell.
Maxwell John Bajetsky.
Riley Jean Moorhead.
Micah Timothy Black.
Liam Joseph Moriarty.
Lauren Dana Blanky.
Alana Christine Morse.
Brooke Kathleen Bottomer.
Ava Marie Mossler.
Jossam Ismail Bakari.
Stella Ann Moss.
Daniel Quinn Bosley.
Owen Thomas Muco.
Colin Mark Brockler.
Liam Joseph Mulhern.
Benjamin David Brooks.
Davis William Mall.
Jordan May Brown.
Mia Elizabeth Musillo.
Maggie Grace Brown.
Riti Rajenda Navapara.
Dylan James Bruner.
Tyler Curtis Newton.
Elliot Charles Bruno.
Avery Hannah Neal.
Mila Claire Burchell.
Aubrey Nicole Nist.
Joshua Todd Burlingame.
Komel Huned Nuwala.
Liam Berlovich.
Matthew Patrick O'Connor.
Charlie Thomas Bywalski.
Madeline Grace Oliva.
Anna Jane Kapobris.
Luciana Sophia Olshansky.
Mia Isabella Capriotti.
Hope Elizabeth O'Neill.
Jake Richard Caceres.
Ian Harrison Orsag.
Grace Constance Kassler.
Israel Alexander Para.
Ava Marie Cerny.
Sophia Osto.
Athena Maria Chakos.
John Michael Patinato.
Shreshti Chakraborty.
Drake Snyder Pattison.
Tyler Joseph Silva Chandler.
Aubrey Malia Peckhart.
Andrew Jeffrey Cianflone.
Armin Nicholas Pettit.
Ava Marie Clever.
Lydia Ann Pistorius.
Carolina Juliet Cluley.
Angela K. Plouffe.
Nathan Anthony Coliani.
Ari Joseph Pletko.
Nicholas Joshua Coliani.
Ryan Charles Pop.
Alexander John Coleman.
Bryce William Potter.
Michael Antonio Conti.
Emily Nola Powell.
Jack Christopher Cottrell.
Molly Corinne Powell.
Ava James Coyle.
Evan John Proud.
Ricky Crawford.
John Paul Renone.
Samuel James Crossley.
Ryan James Rinaldi.
Samuel James Cuba.
Hannah Elizabeth Randolph.
Ida Catherine Cunningham.
Sharest Rawat.
Alexa Marie Swiklinski.
Michaela Arabella Rice.
Julian Wesley Dollum.
Holden T.W. Rickle.
Jay Daniel.
Sarah Eve Ripley.
Marin Suzanne Davis.
Caitlin Nicole Ritson.
Brian Matthew Deep.
Violet Catherine Reiser.
Summer Nicole Delaney.
Tyler Matthew Robbins.
Shrita Devaki.
Zoe Elena Roberts.
Gianni Luigi DeSora.
Alexa Marie Rorick.
Jack Andrew DeToe.
Claire Vaughn Rosenberry.
Essence Amani Dreer.
Benjamin John Ross.
Caius Lee Dreer.
Humberto Reese Lopez.
George Raymond Drudis.
Colin Michael Rump.
Dagan Finn Duffy.
Rihanna Marie Russo.
Chase Warren Ducey.
Carly Evelyn Santel.
Sophie Celine Einfeld.
Roshan Satish Kumar.
Anna Giovanna Farah. Noor Amr El Nakali.
Krishna Sutra Vagishwar.
Maylene Amani Figueroa.
Daniel Hollums Shanholzer.
Elena Marie Finger.
Eleanor Hallums Shanholzer.
Gabrielle Rose Fischel.
Joseph William Sawyer.
Luke Brian Fisher.
Jack Edward Schalk.
Sydney Maria Fisher.
Benjamin Carl Schnorr.
Addison Grace Fitzgerald.
Aton Lockett Schwartz.
Robert Joseph Fleckenstein.
Jillian Elizabeth Sefcek.
Cadence Ann Forney.
Karthika Senthil Kumar.
Andrew Lee Fulton.
Aiden Ali Shaw.
Fabrizio Inario Finero.
Aiden James Shaw.
Olivia Grace Fiscaldo.
Addison Elizabeth Shed.
Sophia Marie Fiscaldo.
Maxim Levy Grigory Shevchenko.
Richard Joseph Gardner.
Yuhan Shi.
Rebecca Ann Geisler.
Dante Thomas Steele Ship.
Lucas Allen Gerlach.
Shreya Shakeen.
Nishma Gimiray.
Nicholas Patrick Sinclair.
Nicholas Spiridon Blackson Gaitis.
Abigail Joy Smith.
Noah Alkeos Blackson Gaitis.
Luke Eric Smith.
Brock Gillespie.
Jeffrey Song.
Rosalind Maeve Goldstein.
Sarah Wynn Spencer.
George Joseph Gombar.
Logan William Stafford.
Sophia Hialani Gorman.
James Cletus Stalder.
Aiden James Grady.
Joshua Dimitri Stamolis.
Sarah Gleason Groniger.
Jonathan Carter Stein.
Meredith Ann Grote.
Sydney Nicole Stevenson.
Cassidy Rose Guarino.
Isabella Leiden Stewart.
Anastasia R. Jakowski.
Marley Rose Super.
Nathan Michael Haberman.
Suhan Sataria.
Addison Aubrey Hare.
Shriva Jiva Sutreja.
Samuel Andreas Hodgdu.
Alexander Avalana Swanson.
Maya Leilani Hamidi.
Catherine Jane Sweeney.
Allison Dawn Hanna.
Hunter Talai.
Hudson Van Healy.
Joy Tang.
Van Patrick Hellman.
Lauren Marie Tanner.
Jacob Rich Higgs.
Ari Bryce Tarabishi.
Ryan Edwin Hines.
Anna Rose Taub.
Jennifer May Holderby.
Olivia Marie Terlecki.
Tyler Michael Holt.
Nikita Thackeria.
Grace Maria Howell.
Brennan Anthony Thomas.
Ryan Michael Hyatt.
Lily Grace Thompson.
Logan Elizabeth Huffnagel.
Aiden James Tobin.
Megan Grace Huffnagel.
Ian Michael Tobin.
Camille Miguel Jackson.
William Henry Tom.
Sophia Margareta Yan.
Griffin Ryan Tomchek.
Michael Ian James.
Michael Jadon Tran.
Patrick Timothy Jameson.
Marcus Tranquilli.
Charles Everett Jans.
Alexander Tucker.
Yushang Zhang. Jia Jitosh.
Divya Jyothi Udayakumar.
Riley Shannon Kalakay.
Pia Vicaria.
Ashton Joseph Kearns.
Isabel Talia Valinsky.
Abhi Rajesh Kumar Kanani.
Darcy Maurice Vilkner.
Maria Anna Keela.
Thomas Daniel Volusius.
Sean J. Karana.
Avery Noel Vinay.
Ava Nicole Keister.
Benjamin Michael Waldron.
Sophia Carolina Kilzer.
Molly Ann Walsh.
Annabelle Rose Kirk.
Cameron Ann Wasson.
Paige Marie Holt Klein.
Madison Elizabeth Webb.
Esther Elizabeth Knight.
Bailey Addison Wells.
Caroline Elizabeth Kabeski.
Braden Chase Wells.
Lucia Kameneni.
Logan Allen Wells.
Madison Marie Kovacs.
Skylar Victoria Wenk.
Reagan Marlia Kuhn.
Mason R. West.
Aryan Kumar.
Michael Charles Williamson.
Taylor Cherie Kurzawa.
William Stroyd Windsor.
Sajin Singh Laffin.
Lucas Michael Wright.
Isha Latia.
Nathan Christopher White.
Brody Lee Latchley.
Dylan Michael Yealy.
Hayden Joy Lazar.
Dane Samuel York.
Kira Liko.
Lana Nozemi Yordi.
Oscar Paul Linecooler.
Kobe Charles Huey.
Stephen Lee.
Abigail Rose Zahalski.
Leo Shitong Lee.
Hannah Lee Zhang.
Jacob Nicholas Lilja. Noah Paul Lilja. Drew Matthew Lissack. Julio Cesar William Lopez. Owen Matthew Lusk.
Congratulations, class of 2025.
Need your music on the stands in the band room. Leave your cases open for everyone, brass included. Help with percussion, get your stuff back.